Hello, Matt here. So, it's been a little while since I last made a video. Long list of videos I plan to make, but kind of getting towards the end of my PhD, being a little bit busy with that. Once that's all out of the way, I'll get a few videos hammered out. So today I'm talking about a new way to detect parity for CSP. The original method was line style tracing. I still plan to use that. I've not solved Sq-1 in months really, but I'm still happy to use blind tracing. Some people went with Cale's system, and I think some people added in some tricks, but yeah, I'm happy with what I was using. But recently Cale came up with an alternative. He came up with a different idea. Wasn't sure if it was viable. I wasn't sure if it was either when he first said it, but I looked at it again last week, played around with it in Excel with colourful formatting and tried to come up with some tricks, and I ended up finding something quite nice. So this video is going to explain how it works. I'll talk through how it works for edges. You see I have some edges arranged here. The black ones are actually from a square too, but close enough. For corners, you just look at the top sticker and say the clockwise sticker, so this one would be yellow, green, and then you get to the colour that works like edges, and so you can apply the same system. So there's 8 pieces, of course, and the reference scheme that you use gives you some sort of order for those pieces. So there's a clear way to lay them out in a line, and the parity of the position is just sort of the parity of how they're laid out once you put them in the line. Hopefully that makes sense. So the way you do it here is you split it into the first 4 pieces and the last 4 pieces. And the parity is the parity of the first 4 plus the parity of the last 4 plus some other thing which I'm going to explain in more detail. Basically, it depends on how you split it into 2 groups of 4. So parity is parity of the first 4, the parity of the last 4, and another thing. Don't panic, I wouldn't make this video if it wasn't quite easy. But like I say, this all worked out really nicely. So let's put the edges in a line so that I would consider it solved. Here they're both currently the same. I'll use this back line as a reference here. So I go yellow pieces and then the white ones, and I have the order red, orange, green, blue, which is grouping opposite colours together, because just to find it helpful to group opposite ones together. So red and orange going front to back, and then green and blue going right to left. It helps that yellow top, red front is my blind orientation. So I find it strange that Cale struggles with the blind CSP tracing, even though he's much better than me at blind solving. So I have this layout, and we're grouping together opposite colours and stuff. There's some patterns in there, and I'm going to hopefully convince you that that's a useful thing. That really played a huge part in making this work so nicely. So I'm going to convince you that this is good. So for each quad, like, you can just take them in the order that they would come here, but turns out you can rearrange things a little bit so it looks nice and it works out quite well. Still using the same sort of principle of the ordering going on here, but just being a little bit flexible with it. You'll see the exact details soon. Okay, so first I'm going to go over how to tell the parity of each quad in the partition. You partition it into 2 different quads, the 2 groups of 4 pieces, and then I'll talk about the other part after that. There's lots of breaking things down into smaller steps here. I'll get through all of them, I'll have examples at the end, that'll be fine. So then the next thing is I'm going to break the quads down into 2 sets of 2. A lot of this will look quite similar to Cale's other method. That is different though. So split the quads into pairs. I'll say what to do with the pairs later. I'm first just going to talk about how to identify the pairs. So it seems to me there's two relatively obvious ways of taking a piece and putting it into a nice pair, for fairly subjective word nice, but we'll go with it. So you can, for instance, let's take this yellow-red edge here. You can take the one with the same side colour, which would be white-red, or we can go with the one next to it in order. So it'll be the same layer but on the opposite side, so we can match up with yellow-orange. And actually we'll see we'll be a little bit more flexible with that. Sometimes we might want to match up with the white-orange as well. So in a sense we're splitting this into two rings of pieces. We've got the M ring with the red and orange pieces, and we have the S ring where we have the green and blue pieces. I'll be more specific about how this all works as I'm going through the different cases you can get. That's how I think of nice pairs. First observation, if each quad consists of two nice pairs, then it's really easy to split the quad into pairs. It's fairly straightforward. So maybe that'll happen like this. So we've got two pairs here with the same side colour, and then it doesn't really matter which order the colours go in, and I need to pay more attention because that's out of the shot. I'm totally good at filming stuff, honest. Right, so we have two nice pairs in each quad, same side colour, doesn't matter which colour goes where, it all works the same. Maybe we've all got opposite colours. Make sure these are all in the right sort of order. So we've got something like that. So we've got opposite, 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 opposite. That's all good. And like I said, sometimes we want to be a bit more flexible. So let's swap these orange ones round. Actually, that would be nice as well, because we've got opposite colours the red, orange, opposite colours the green, blue, red, orange. That's fine. That counts. You may think that's weird because I just did what's essentially a two cycle. I'm saying it's still fine. We'll get to that later. Don't worry, it works. So, if we have the two nice pairs, everything's good. Second observation, there's always at least one nice pair in a quad. Actually, if we don't have two nice pairs, then each quad will have one nice pair with the same side colour, which is good. Say we have a nice pair, what order do the pieces go in? Well, that sort of speaks for itself. If we get two of the same side colour, then we go by the other colour, obviously, yellow before white. If we have like an opposite side colours like this, then well, red comes before orange. And actually if we have like that as well, then it doesn't matter which way round we do it. Red's before orange, yellow's before white. This is still the order it goes in, so that's fine. So let's say we don't have two nice pairs. Okay, so just mix these up a little bit. So we don't have two nice pairs in each quad, so what can we do? Well, like I say, we always have one nice pair with the same side colour. So the correct order for the quad, we've got that pair there, because same side colour, yellow before white. We can do the same thing over here, the blue ones, yellow before white, and then the other pair is just the other two pieces. And we do same order as from up here, red, orange, green, blue, because these two come for these two, and front to back, right to left. So green, orange, green, orange. No, orange, green. I swear this is the colour scheme I actually use, I've just not solved them once. Orange, green, orange, green, orange, green. Right, that's correct now. So we've got the pair, 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 pair. This is all in order. Okay, so that's how you split it into pairs, that's all there is. How do you tell the parity of the quad given you have the pairs? Well, that's again relatively easy. We just break it down into the smaller steps. So it's the order of each pair. So if it's the right way around, you don't do anything. If it's the wrong way around, then you flip parity. All through this, you're going to have to count how many things will flip with parity. If it's even, it all cancels out, it's fine. If it's odd, then you have odd parity at the end. That's not really new if you've been doing CSP already. I'm not explaining CSP from scratch here. So, parity of that pair, parity of that pair, and then the last thing you need to add in is how the pairs are arranged. So here we've got the two pairs next to each other. That's fine. It doesn't make any difference which way around they are. That there would also be fine. We can have one pair inside the other pair, so we have the pair on the inside, pair on the outside. That is also fine. Doesn't make a difference. If they are alternating, so that's bad pair, nice pair, bad pair, nice pair, or say nice, bad, then you need to flip parity. So they're all fairly straightforward. Order of two pieces, easy. Order of another two pieces, that's easy. Alternating or not, again, really easy to see that if you're looking at it. So lots of little steps here when you break it down, but it means there's lots of easy things. It's all pieces that are mostly next to each other. If you've got like a 6-2 case, then you might have two in one layer, two in another layer, but that's still not going to be too bad to look at. But you count it all as you go along. It shouldn't be too bad. So I've talked how to split the quad into pairs. I've talked about how to find the parity of the quad in terms of the pairs and the alternating. So one last thing. So just to be clear, I didn't plan this bit out in advance. I just made it look pretty in Excel, figured I'd sort out how the parity of the partition things worked later on. I think Cale just made a list of parity cases, not sure exactly what layout he was using, and learned parity cases. Nah, screw that. You want to know how you find the parity of the partition? Yeah, you look at either one of the quads and count how many yellow pieces there are, or how many white pieces there are. If it's even, you don't do anything. If it's odd, then that flips the parity. That's it. That's what you do for all of the cases. It works for everything. So here, even number of yellow pieces, so that's fine. And you look in either quad for yellow or white, it's going to give you the same answer. That doesn't matter. So yeah, that's how it goes. You split it into the first quad and the last quad. Split each quad into pairs. For each pair you look at whether it's the right order. You check whether the pairs are alternating, and then you'll count the yellow pieces in one of the quads. And that's it. You keep track of all of those, you add them up, either count 1, 0, 1, 0 as you get each one, or just count the total, see if it's even or odd at the end, whichever way you prefer. So yeah, done. That's not too bad, right? Hopefully people like that. So let's do some more examples. Okay, so here's my first example. Let's just close my laptop over there because I might be making noises in the background and those. So I just shuffled these up. I didn't make any effort to set up any particular case. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so we've got one nice pair in each one. So here we've got two green ones. Here we've got two orange ones. So that's the sort of thing we're dealing with. So let's go one quad at a time. So the green ones, they're the wrong way around. So flip parity. And nice visual way of keeping track of parity. I've got a Sq-1 in the background. I'm just going to do a slash turn like that every time I have a need to flip parity. So they're the wrong way around. Flip red then blue, that's the right way around, don't do anything. Pair inside the other pair, that's fine, we don't do anything. Let's look at the other quad. They are the wrong way around. Flip, red then blue, that's right, that's the same as over there, that's weird. No. Don't do anything. Pair inside the other pair, that's fine, don't do anything. Two yellow pieces, that's even, don't do anything. And so we'd get the answer of even for this case. Fine, let's scramble them up again. Okay, let's see what we've got this time. Okay, we've got two nice pairs in each quad. We've got same side colour, opposites, same side colour, opposites. So again, let's just go one at a time. In fact, just so that we can show the other partition thing, let's just swap those round so we get odds in each one. Okay, so let's see what we've got. There, the right way round, so don't do anything. Right way round, we don't do anything. Pairs next to each other, that's fine. They are the wrong way round. Flipped. Right way round, that's fine. Pairs are alternating, so we need to flip. And one yellow piece, so we flip again. So that'll be an odd permutation. If you want to follow along with these examples, set it up, solve it with just swapping pieces, you should get the right answer of even or odd, or do whichever tracing method you want to verify this. It should give the right answer. Okay, so yeah, let's try doing an actual scramble. Okay, back again. So set up the scallop, that's a nice one to go with. So let's do the edges first. Start on the top layer. Right, so start with white blue, yellow red, white red, white green, the bottom we've got yellow green, white orange, yellow blue. Okay, so I prefer to go around clockwise on the top, clockwise on the bottom, that's how we get that. And so this is the layout, so what's the parity of the edges? And before I start, for scallop, if I get odd parity I do the 3-twist solution. If I have even parity then I need to swap 3 corners from each layer before I start. Okay, so two nice pairs. They are the correct way around, that's fine. They are the wrong way around, so flip, pair inside a pair, that's fine. Right way around, that's fine. Wrong way around, flip, pair inside a pair, that's fine. One yellow piece, and so we need to flip again, right? So that's the edges, let's do the corners. Let's move these forward again, and then we'll do the corners. So white, green, yellow, red, white, orange, yellow, orange, white, red, yellow, blue, white, blue, and yellow, green. Okay, so this is our order for the corner pieces. Let's see. Okay, we have one nice pair in each quad. So they are the wrong way around. So flip. They are the wrong way around. Pair next to a pair. That's fine. They are the right way around. They are the right way around. Pair inside a pair. That's fine. Two yellow pieces. That's fine. And so end result is we should have parity, which means we should do the 3-twist solution, and that will be the correct CSP. My cube's upside down, that's why it's being weird. Oh, I got a BL skip. Let's just do the stupid method everyone else does. Didn't time out of practice anyway. Oh look, it's the Z pair, that's nice. We're probably in alpha Z plus slice flip, but whatever, that's CSP for that case done. So hopefully that all makes sense. Right, so here's a few little tricks for how to do this in practice and an actual solve. Because sometimes a method gets talked about, but there's little optimizations that maybe don't get mentioned as much. And the setup might look slightly different because I messed this up the first time and having to record again. So just going with scallop again because it's nice and convenient for showing things. So how I would do this in a solve, I would start with the edges. It doesn't actually matter which piece type you start with, but it's best to do it one piece type at a time, so all of the edges and then all of the corners. So what I would do is I'd start at the end of the first quad of edges, and I would quickly scan back to see what case I have. So here I have one nice pair of oranges and one nice pair of green and blue, so I have two nice pairs. So that tells me what case I have of the pairs, and then I know what to look for as I'm going back forward. So then with the green blue pair, so the greens first, that's in the right order. We've got the yellow one before the white one here, so that's in the right order. Pair inside the pair, that's correct as well. We don't need to flip parity for any of that. And then we have even number of yellow pieces here. And the reason it's best to do the rest of the edges rather than going to, say, the other corners in this layer is that the pieces that are in a quad will tell you what piece are in the other quad of the same type. So here I have two oranges and a green and a blue, so the other quad is going to be two reds and the green and the blue. So the other pair with the same side colour is obviously going to be the colour that hasn't happened yet, which is red, and the green and the blue, so we're going to have a green and the blue. Actually, you can see this here, there's the pair of red pieces, here's the green and the blue pair. If we had, say, a quad where we had only one nice pair, so here we have an orange pair and we've got a blue and a red, then we know that the other quad is going to have two greens because we haven't had green yet, and it's also going to have a blue and a red. And so that tells you what to expect once you get to the other quad, and it just sort of helps think ahead, and I think that's a good way to do that. So then if we get to this quad, we see blue before green, that's the wrong way around, white before yellow, that's the wrong way around, pairs are next to each other, so we'd flip once each for the pair being in the wrong order, and we don't flip for alternating because it's not alternating, and then we do the same thing for the corners. And one other thing you can do if you have a 4-4 case is that we're going to have a quad of edges and a quad of corners on each layer. So instead of counting the yellow pieces in this edge quad, and then later counting the yellow pieces in the corner quad, you can just count them all at once. So here we have 4 yellow pieces, that's even, and so we can do that for both piece types at the same time. It's a nice little shortcut. You can maybe do that as you're looking back through the first quad and glancing at the pieces to see what case you have. That's maybe personal preference, I've not really tried it out much. And here I'm just going to talk through CS66 case with an interesting way of thinking about it. So, like I say, we've looked at this quad, we'll figured that out. So then we get to the second quad already, and two of the pieces for that are going to be in the bottom layer. So you've got the 6 pieces in the layer we start with. We start at 4, we work back, see what case we have, go forward again to figure out all the parities we need to do. And then by looking at the first 2 pieces here that are on the top, that tells us 2 of the 3 things we need to know about this second quad. So it's going to tell us 2 of the 3 things we need to know. So here in this quad, like I said, we have a nice pair of greens and the other pair is blue and red. So here we have 1 piece from each pair, which tells us the order for each pair, and we look at the other 2 pieces to see whether or not the pairs are alternating or whether it's a pair inside a pair in this case. Or we're going to have 2 pieces from the same pair, so we know the order of that pair and we know it's not alternating because it's going to be 2 pairs next to each other. So then you just look at one other piece and you can see the order of that last pair. So here, blue of the blue and red pair, that's the wrong way around, so we'd flip parity. We've got the white-green piece of the green pair, that's the wrong way around, so we'd flip parity again. So we have the order of both pairs, so we just need to see whether it's alternating or pair inside a pair. So if this edge here, and the first one we get to, is green, it's pair inside a pair, we don't flip. And if it's red, then it's alternating and we do flip. Knocked around slightly, but we can see that this is red, so it's alternating and we would then need to flip parity. And at that point, you'll even need to look at this last edge here. We know the information for that basically for free. So I think that's all the tricks I wanted to go through. There may be some ideas that I've missed, but I felt that was worth mentioning. So hopefully you've all found this tutorial helpful. Maybe some of you will switch to it, and please leave any feedback in the comments, ask questions, ask for clarifications of anything I've explained here, and thanks for watching.